In developing countries, oil find creates euphoria with the perception that it will propel the socio-economic advancement of the country. Indigents look forward to employment, and local industries veer towards goods and service provision. The sector is, however, capital intensive, and access to funding for such businesses is daunting. This has left African indigenous businesses out of the core of the energy industry and commonly focus on basic services. Our question today is there a possibility to change the narrative for local businesses in the energy sector? The challenge of financing for local Ghanaian businesses in the energy sector still looms. However, the first ever oil vessel owned by Ghanaian just arrived. How was this financed? By a bank right here in Ghana. So come with me as we discover what opportunities are available for us. Welcome to Energy Quest. Today we have here Madam Grace Anim Yeboah, Business Bank Director for ABSA Ghana. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So Energy Quest has great interest in women development. So finding out you're the Director for Business Banking here is quite exciting. And I'd like to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
Okay. Has it been an easy journey?
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
But never a dull moment.
Okay.
And for that, I'm truly grateful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But all through, I see ABSA has lots of women in leadership. Is it a deliberate thing?
So ABSA Bank Ghana is an equal opportunities employer.
Okay.
And so everyone gets a chance, to show what they have to offer.
Okay.
And when you have a seat at the table, it's important that you show up. Okay, one of the areas that we have intentionally driven is also diversity and inclusion. Because when you have diverse views, you are able to drive greater value. And as you can see from our current managing director and our previous managing director, female leadership actually does make a difference. One of the core tenets for us, our principles, is the fact that our people are our strength. And our people, both male and female, are truly our strength at ABSA Bank.
Great. It's very impressive because you don't have too many companies or banks in particular focusing on this. So I think that's a very good initiative that ABSA has taken. In our quest to find out how local business and energy sector could have some funding, there was a reason why we chose ABSA. That's because we interviewed the owners of the Ghana's first oil vessel, MV Flat Confidence, and we found out that ABSA made a great impact. I mean, you were central to financing it. Can you tell us about this historic feat?
Thank you very much, my dear. And it's been quite a journey.
Okay.
And I must say, for us as a bank, and I'm not just referring to business banking, but the whole organization, from our risk function, our credit function, our regional office, what we call our enterprise supply chain development unit, there's been a lot of collaboration. We've also had to collaborate with the Petroleum Commission, with Talo Ghana, the contractor, as well as working together with the Flat Sea team to make this happen. It's been a very long journey. It hasn't been easy. We've also worked with other partners in the financial services sector, to make this a reality. The truth of the matter is that these entrepreneurs had a dream.
Okay.
And they had a skill. They needed the financial support to make that dream a reality, because they do have the technical capacity, And so us working together with them, one, trying to understand the business. As you know, the oil and gas sector in Ghana is just about a little over 10 years old. And most of the players or the local content players provide various levels of support, but none to the scale of this critical service of providing an anchor handling, and tugboat service. So this was really, really central to the operations you know, of the rigs in the 10 and Jubilee fields.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to say that Tallow also collaborated, you know, quite extensively, because when we looked at the transaction or the opportunity at the beginning, to be honest, it wasn't going to be bankable in the form and shape that it was.
Yeah.
You know, but because we came together as stakeholders and, you know, sacrificed long hours in trying to make this work, and every stakeholder actually came to the party, you know, so that we could put together a transaction that was possible and that was doable, you know. So throughout the journey, I must say that every stakeholder in it played a very big part in making it come to pass. And across the financial sector in Ghana, there hasn't been such a transaction.
Yes,
you
yes,
know,
yes.
so it's really a first, and I dare say even in the region.
Oh,
you
wow.
know, so it's a first. Were there learnings? Oh yes, there are lots of learnings. Are there things we will do differently in the next opportunity?
Of
Absolutely.
course, yeah.
Are there some things that we'll definitely do in the next opportunity? Yes, there are, you know. But the beauty for me is that this is real local content talking. And I think for the Anchor Tallow as well, this is the one big statement, you know, that can be made
content
about the local content intervention. It's no longer just a buy and sell. It's actually a Ghanaian business providing a core anchor handling and tag service to the oil
industry.
fields.
Yeah. Yes, because mostly the businesses, they are all buy and sell. When a local person has to provide any service for the oil industry, is about buy what goods, provide what, basically minor services. So this is a great feat, and
it is major.
I'm really happy that ABSA gave them the opportunity. Yeah. Have you already worked with Flat Sea?
So when Flat Sea approached us, they weren't doing much with us, no. You know, but as we engaged them and sought to understand what they wanted to achieve, we realized also that other players in the sector had given them a little bit of support here and there. But we saw that this was something that was game-changing. And even though it was uncharted territory, we believed in the dream. And so we did the hard work that came with it. You know, and I must say that it's also important for entrepreneurs to be ready to pay the price, because it's a long journey. It requires a lot of intensive work. One, to be able to attract the funding you need, but even two, and more importantly, to sustain. Because you've got the contract, but you've got to perform, you've got to deliver. Because when you deliver, you open the door for others who are aspiring to get into the sector. And also for the financial service sector. When this, you know, example stands up well over the years, guess what? Others will begin to be interested to say, actually, we can do more. Because there's quite a number of vessels that are serving the oil fields.
Which could
more
have been
than
Ghanaian.
10. This is the first Ghanaian one.
Oh, after 10 years. That's a really long time. I mean, because the kind of efforts that have been put into local content, one would expect that by now we would be a little further than we are. I mean,
so one of the challenges around this is that, you know, the oil and gas sector is very specific. I mean, there's a whole health and safety industry around it, and rightly so. I mean, these are fossil fuels. If anything goes wrong, the slightest thing, it can impact the ecosystem, the environment, you know, and the ocean. And that can impact nations. You know, so the technical skill is so key. The willingness to adhere to the discipline and the health and safety principles. And so in all fairness, it's a bit of a journey, you know, for our local entrepreneurs to build up that skill and that skill and that capacity. You know, so I must salute the Petroleum Commission. They've been quite intentional, you know, in the support and the interventions and the insistence, you know, on local content, actually meaning local content. So kudos to Mr. Egbert Fable and his team. I think they've done a great job in driving that agenda, and we look forward to seeing more of these stories coming out.
So altogether, like we said in the beginning, financing in the sector is a very big issue, is a very big challenge. So how do you think that local business can position themselves to be able to access funding that can place them Right, or can help them achieve whatever dreams or plans they may have?
Thank you very much for that question, and I do believe it is extremely relevant. One of the key things that needs to happen is the knowledge transfer. I mean, that is key. So the build-up of skill in the sector is so important. This is not the kind of area where if the measure has to be 1 centimeter, you decide to reduce it by a millimeter or increase it.
Implications will be so much.
Is so critical. Okay, so that ability to pay attention to detail, to build the skill, and to build the skill, you have to understudy, as well as, of course, put yourself through training and get the training that you need. But beyond that as well, is also an understanding and awareness of what kinds of financing are available. You know, one of the key things that we found in this situation was the fact that obviously the size of the funding that was required was far, far bigger than the company. You know, so it's important to be aware of the different investment vehicles that can be used.
Okay.
Because there's a possibility of leasing vessels, right? There's wet lease or dry lease, depending on what you want to go in for. And there are various other funding structures.
Okay.
The important thing is that you need to build up over time. And especially if you are starting in this sector, you can't just wake up and say, I've got a contract and therefore I need a bank loan, 100% to support that. Our enterprise and supply chain development structure allows for us to support SMEs with the technical capability who are seeking to punch above their weight. But it requires a very deep interlock with the anchor that is providing the contract.
Okay.
And for that interlock to happen, the anchor must be comfortable that the SME or entrepreneur can actually deliver on the contract.
Of course.
Because they also don't want to drag their name into a bad situation. And that requires all the precision and the focus I keep mentioning. We can't belabor that. But also for entrepreneurs to formalize their business, have the right structures in place. You know, in a sector like this, the work can't revolve around one person. You won't manage. But most of our SMEs, it revolves around one person. The person is not there. Nothing moves. You know, so you need structures in your company that will allow you, you know, to be able to scale, but also allow you to invest in people who can actually deliver at the level of service that helps you remain relevant in the energy sector. You know, so, and then also in terms of formalization, your financials have to be up to scratch. You know, you've got to get the right financial services. Even though as ABSA Bank, we are able to provide unsecured facilities, as in we can give loans without taking collateral and without taking financials or audited financials for up to 500,000 Ghana cedis.
That's so much for a business person.
No, we do that.
Wow,
so we are able to
support.
give loans that you don't need collateral, you don't need audited financials. For up to 500,000 cedis. I must say that terms and conditions apply. But it's fairly easy to access it if you maintain the discipline and you adhere, you know, to the requirements for you to be able to access that facility. But you can imagine that that's like a working capital line, maybe for a trading limit. If you're getting into a capital-intensive sector,
business, then you need
like the
so
oil
much
and
more.
gas, then you probably need more than that. So it would require that discipline. It would require audited financials. So you need to be able to formalize your business in that way. Your tax records must be up to date. You know, your structures must be very, very clear in the organization, you know, for you to be able to access these kinds of funding. Thankfully, we are also doing a lot of capacity building for SMEs, free of charge, in collaboration with the MasterCard Foundation. We are actually providing capacity building across various sectors, all the way through mentoring, through diagnostics of your business with specialists or people who have the skill and have gone ahead and have done well or are doing well in that sector or area of endeavor, just to work with you and to help you put in place the right things that will give your business a sustainable model, as well as help you, you know, to be able to.
How do entrepreneurs in the sector get into that program?
So we advertise it a lot. We've also done some collaborative trainings, and we are open to the conversation. So we are a partner to Invest in Africa, for example. Invest in Africa is an NGO that was birthed by Talo, and has done a lot of work over the years in building capacities of SMEs to also grow and participate in that sector. We're a partner to them as well, so we provide training to the SMEs in those areas. And actually, Invest in Africa has a platform called the IPP, that actually APP,
okay.
that where contractors actually put out their tenders. And if you're an SME and you're on that platform, you can actually bid for that tender. You know, and you could win. I mean, depending on your readiness and capability. So we provide all the training, and we also are ready to provide financing for some of these contracts when they are won. We also put information out there in the media about our readiness to support the sector. Now, let me be quick to add that in Ghana, everybody says their problem is a loan.
Yes, of course.
But actually, as we have delved deeper and continue to engage, yes, I fully agree financing is one of the challenges, but capacity is an even bigger challenge. Because when you borrow, you must be able to use the money for what you borrowed
adequately
it for.
and pay.
Because it's other people's money that we're giving to you. If you don't pay, not only does somebody lose their money, but you also block the chances of others. And also you make borrowing more expensive because of the risk
gets higher
on
and
the
higher.
sector.
Sure.
So yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. I'm really happy. I mean, the conscious planning efforts the ABSA is putting in to help. I'm sure realizing well all that you intend, I'm sure you solve a lot for us. Thank you. So, do I say that you consciously have a plan for the energy sector? Do you?
Yes, we do. And we have what we call the ecosystem approach, where for certain identified sectors, we are actually intentionally, you know, providing interventions. We engage anchors, the anchors being the major companies that are actually procuring services from SMEs. And we work with them to build, you know, the local content capacity. I'm happy to say that we are seeing some good results, and we continue to increase our participation in the energy sector. I think it's a sector where local participation has been very low for various reasons. And so it's a sector that if we're able to support, we'll also see quite a bit of growth. Growth in revenue to Ghanaian businesses, growth in employment for your Ghanaian youth, growth in revenue for the nation. I mean, if more businesses are doing well, they can pay more taxes, right?
Of course.
Amongst other things. So it's an area where we are putting a lot of increased focus and also building our own skill and understanding so we can support the sector better.
Okay. Thank you so much. I mean, I think this has been a great eye-opener. And I mean, with all the information you've given us, I think a local business should be able to position itself well in the sector with your support.
Sure.
Right. Thanks a lot.
And let me add also that we are driving a gender focus.
Okay.
Because the energy sector is one where there are very, very few
male-dominant
females standing out.
Yes.
Actually, even the natural resources sector as a whole. So when you include mining and everything. And so our collaboration with the MasterCard Foundation, we are also biased towards women-owned businesses.
Okay.
Women-owned, women-led businesses.
Okay.
Even though we have sectors we are focusing on, like youth and agriculture, when it comes to women, it doesn't matter the sector you're playing in. We're available to provide the support, both from capacity building as well as funding support once the client is able to meet the requirements.
And basically, like you said, the requirements would always include having the right structure in your business.
So it's part of it. So depending on how your business is set up, there are some that we can grow with you along the journey, right? Because not all of it happens overnight. So for example, you start a business as a sole proprietor, you know, and over time you begin to win contracts in areas where you need more technical capacity. We can help you with that. But as your scale increases and your need for borrowing increases, you need to look at the kind of structure that you are working with. So we actually provide the support and the guidance to help you graduate from, say, sole proprietor to a limited liability. And I'm happy to say that we have examples of women entrepreneurs that we've worked with, you know, to grow into those levels.
So you've been doing this for a while. It's a new product.
We've actually been doing the unsecured bit for a while. But the collaboration with the MasterCard Foundation, we just went into last year. So we've just kind of started the second year now, really ramping up.
Oh, thank you so much for this. I hope that women are listening, because we always it's not very easy for women, I mean, to be in the entrepreneurial space. So for you to be available for us, we are grateful. Thanks so much for your time. And I hope when we come knocking again, you make some time for us.
You are always welcome.
So this is what we do on Energy Quest. We demystify the energy sector and add value. Till we meet again. Ciao.